School of Education at Mount St. Joseph University, and that doctoral program will be in reading science. It'll pave the way for other doctoral programs to come, but we already have a list of over 150 people who are interested in doing this program that will only accept up to 20 people. So, so it's already in high demand. It's a very unique program. There aren't many in the country, but we are very excited about that. So you'll see a couple other people if you're on campus milling around. And once you're on campus, I'm sure you'll be able to interact with them a little more. So that's good news. The other news is that Lucy Collier will be joining us. Some of you had Lucy last semester when she filled in for Beth Van Wassenhove. And Lucy is going to continue that good work. Yeah, yay, we love Lucy. So that's an old show for those of you who don't know. So I love Lucy. But anyway, so Lucy's agreed to come back. She's going to come back full time and teach in our undergraduate and graduate programs. And she and I are going to work together on working on our math methods courses to get those to the point where they also get an A+ rating from the National Council of Teacher Quality. So, and she's going to work on some lesson planning work as well. So that's good news. Some other news is that Beth Van Wassenhove will not be returning for this coming semester this year. Many of you know that she had some health concerns last semester. She's continuing that battle, and at this point is, not going to be returning to us. And, we all think of her and pray for her and want nothing but the best for her and for Henry. So that is a loss for us. And it's really hard to see someone you care about going through, this kind of illness. I know how much she appreciates all of your well wishes, all of the prayers. She's commented as such on her Caring Bridge site, how much the support of her students has meant to her. So we also are today going to be saying goodbye to Carla Good, which is just, really hard. She's been with us for over a decade. She's retiring and she deserves a great retirement, of course, but we are all going to miss her. She's spent the last month, since she's decided to retire, making sure that all of us were well set up to be able to take care of you. That was her biggest worry with retirement. I need to make sure you guys are going to take care of these kids. Do you know this about so-and-so? And here's this, So as you can imagine, Carla was incredibly concerned about each of you, and especially those of you she advised and knew well. So we wish her well. We're going to be celebrating her on social media later today. So you will also notice that Carla is not in our school. So we'll miss her greatly. But she set us up well. So, I think we're going to be in good shape to take good care of everyone.
She just went to the restroom. So when she comes back, I'm going to make her pop in and say goodbye.
Oh, good idea.
Because she's getting ready to leave. We're both in the office. So she doesn't know I'm going to make her do this. But
oh, what a great surprise for her.
I'm such a bully that I'm going to make her.
Well, just listen very carefully. She's very stealthy sometimes. So. gotta listen.
That's right. So, but yeah, I think that's all of the changes that we've had faculty, staff-wise in the School of Education. We're excited to have everybody else coming back, and we're going to switch over. There's always a big office switch up whenever people leave, especially when the coveted window offices become open. So Wendy's moving across the hall and Kanitha's moving across the hall. So yes, so and Megan, being the newbie in the block, it's one of the offices without a window for now.
Laura, what about the advising and the advisees that Carla had? Can you speak a little bit, because Hannah's asking about who would be her advisor now?
I forget who got her. We might have had a little fight over who got her. Cindy, do you remember?
You get me, Hannah.
I don't see it clapping. Yay, okay. It's a
Yes, so
win.
Carla had 73 advisees. So we had to take those 73 advisees and share them among our current advisors as well as our newer advisors, Wendy and Maria. So we will we'll make sure that, you know, if you look at my mount, it might not be done by today, but hopefully by Monday, if you were one of Carla's advisees, it'll list who your new advisor is. We tried to be strategic with it. So if there were people that Cindy already knew well, or had worked with on some kind of advising level, she has them. If I had, if they were newer, a lot of times Wendy and Maria have them. So that's how we made those decisions. So
And Brittany and CJ are also asking, anyone, any ideas off the top of people's heads who they might have as their advisor?
I just told Brittany she has me, and I think CJ went to Laura.
yeah, either me or Kara. I can't remember very well.
Oh, yeah, it was either Laura or Kara.
Yeah. But yeah, so, but we'll make sure you're taken care of and all that information is on my mount. And you guys know that no matter who your advisor is, if you have a question, you can ask anybody, right? I mean, your advisor is your person you're really going to go to for those classes and for making those types of decisions. But we're all here to be, you know, to be supportive of you, and we'll do so. That's our commitment to you. Gosh, we miss you.
And I think Clara asked too. Do you remember? I think you might have gotten Clara,
It's
Laura.
me. I think it's me. But again, you know,
Sorry, Clara.
some
Just
people weren't so
kidding.
lucky.
The turf wars have begun.
I just think you're all lucky you don't have me because I don't know all these rules yet. So give me the new students who don't know better.
Yeah, we put all the newbies with Wendy, so that's good.
Did we want to talk about OAEs, Harrison, while we're waiting for Carla?
Yeah, you know, our OAE policy has always been that you have to take and pass all your OAEs prior to student teaching. We do that for several reasons. One, the students whom you student teach for need to be assured that they have a qualified teacher. And in Ohio qualifies their teachers by saying that they have passed their professional performance tests, their foundations of reading test, and their content tests. And there's no way around it. In order to do any kind of teaching in Ohio, you've got to pass those particular tests. And with the COVID crisis as it is, we're going to relax the rules on that. So for people who are student teaching in fall, we said they just need to take one of the OAEs. And I'm happy to say that I've sent stuff out and everyone has taken at least one OAE. We want to continue to encourage you to take those OAEs. It may be difficult because there may be more closures, and even the sites that are open can only work at half capacity. So we're aware of that. We also are aware of the fact that students were off of work for oh.
Harrison, can I pause you for a minute? Can I pause you for a moment? I see a Carla.
Is that Carla sighting?
Carla, we were just talking about how amazing you are and how much we're going to miss you.
You're gonna make me cry. Don't do that.
But the students, you know, have been, you know, wishing you well. I don't know if anybody wants to chime in and pass any message on to Carla.
CJ, I already got your email. That was nice.
Well, that was quick.
Well, that was quick on your end too.
I sent that before they were going to pull you, before I knew they were going to pull you. So I just wanted to thank you for all the help you've given me over these past few years.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate everything you've done.
My pleasure. All right.
But Carla, thank you so
You guys
much
are in
for
good hands,
everything.
everybody. Yeah, you guys got the best.
We were taught by the best, so thank you, Carla.
Thank you.
Hi, Carla.
Bye, Carla.
Bye.
We do have her on speed dial, so
Yeah,
we'll be able to.
and we'll no doubt use it. So um, it's not lost on us that people have had difficulty scheduling tests and then paying for tests because of lost jobs. We get that. So what we're doing for this fall and this spring is we're just requiring people who are student teaching in the fall or student teaching in the spring to at least take one OAE prior to student teaching. We're not requiring them to pass all of them or even to pass one, although my heart would do better if you'd pass them, like, along the way, because at the very end of it, you'll have to have those passed in order to get the license. But this gives you a little leeway in terms of paying for it, of scheduling it, and not have to worry about it too very much. One reason that we try to enforce that policy, and we do enforce that policy for the OAEs, is because if you're in teaching in February and you've already passed your OAEs, the job offers start to come. If you have passed your OAEs, you're a sure bet. As soon as you finish teaching, you can get right on the employment plane, right? If it's an uncertainty about whether you're passing the test or not, another candidate who might have a leverage over you. So there's a reason for that. So, we've worked really hard to try to not spring this on everybody at the very end at like senior year, right? So there's an OAE testing schedule, and your advisor should always go over that testing schedule with you. You should take certain tests after your first semester of junior year, and then at the end of junior year, and then the end of your first semester of senior year, so that it's not all, bunched up and stressful to you. So please make sure that you're proactive about saying, I want to look at this testing. And, we do our best to make sure that, hey, you finish this amount of content, you're ready for the test. And you finish these courses, now you're ready for the test. We've tried really hard to build that into those plans. Okay, so just make sure that you're kind of keeping up with that. And again, this pandemic has just thrown so many things for a loop. Again, it is really showing us our resiliency and just sticking through it, right? That's what teachers do. You just, whatever the waves are, you just keep moving on course the best way that you can.
Yep. Amen. Amen. Yeah, and I also want to mention that the OAE testing schedules that we had physical copies of in the office, we now have scanned and are available on MyMount in the Mount Education and Licensure Community section. So if you go to that, to Mount Communities, and you go to Education Licensure, you'll see one of the tabs now says OAEs. And when you click on that, there's also all of the schedules for all the different groups. So if you're wondering, am I on path or not? You can take a look at those. But we have changed our advising practices, and many of you know this from your advising sessions in the spring, that every advising session will go over that schedule with you as well. We just want to avoid you being in the tough situation of, when you get to student teaching, those of you who aren't seniors yet, when you get to student teaching or close to student teaching, we've had students in the past who we